have joined me to discuss these issues, especially the insurgency in the Northeast region, is a public affairs commentator and the Dane Borno Elders Forum, Professor Khalifa Dikwa. He joins us from our Medjugorje studio in Borno State. Thank you, Professor, for joining us tonight on the program. It's good to see you. From some of the views that you have shared with China's television, you've spoken so much about what is happening regarding the issue of security and state of insecurity in the country. You said that you hold the view that there are some external influence in what we see, especially in the Northeast region. Let's begin the conversation, Professor, by getting to know, in your view, what could be responsible for the resurgent attacks that we're seeing in the Northeast region. It's been relatively peaceful in the past years.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Nigerians, and my heartfelt condolences to those who lost their dear ones. Shehu, the thing is, for those Nigerians who have been following me for a long time, they knew this thing will happen because I spoke before the beginning of the insurgency, prior to it. And prior to it, when it came, I spoke about it and I said it will take different forms and it will take the entire country, Nigeria. Here we discuss as Borno concerned, elders concerned here. We are Borno concerned, not elders forum, by the way. So these forms are known. They are known to those in government. We have to take diplomacy and then adapt the policy that we took during the war on 1967-1970. Within 2 months, under General Gowon, Nigeria was able to get 200 combatants to train and take their country back. And therefore, this thing that I'm talking about is not new. I spoke about it last time I was here, that Nigeria is an existential threat to countries, to European countries that cannot live without the resources of their ex-colonies. And that Nigeria ought to now use ECOWAS to say, wait, let us now adopt the AU Charter, the AU Charter of 1999, that President Gaddafi spearheaded about an African satellite, an African bank, and an African currency. Gaddafi spearheaded it, and we know the country that spearheaded the invasion and destruction of Libya was France. And now France is now apprehensive of losing Niger, Chad to Nigeria, because at one time, President of Niger, former President Mohamed Yusuf said, Niger at least should be able to be like the neighbor of Nigeria, shouldn't be in deep poverty in this case. And therefore, two things must be done. Nigeria should petition the United Nations that we are seeing, from time to time, we are seeing foreign helicopters dropping certain things. Even if there are explorers somewhere, they will kill, they will disturb, and then the following morning we'll call it Boko Haram. We are seeing certain invasions because the people who have now lost their territory in Syria, in Libya, and so on, are now being recruited to come down, including those in Libya. They are not. I mean, they are just being paid, and government, as long as government fails to use PR, media relations to tell the narrative very well, it will continue to be playing the defensive. And therefore, if you are stingy about PR, then you have a problem. Thirdly, there are people within the government, federal government of Buhari, or close to the government, who are working for foreign interests. Foreign interests in the sense that if we are to, they are still thinking that those countries should choose our friends for us, the way Mandela spoke about it. If they are not in good terms with them, that is their own business. But Nigeria should give them a field way to compete in Nigeria. If our traditional friends, before independence and after independence, have not been able to help us put together commensurate the developmental infrastructure for us, they have lost the guts to now say we should not talk to other friends from Korea, from Japan, from China, from Russia. We should not talk about Ajakuta and so on. They are calling others, they are talking to people who are within government not to bother about the basic infrastructure, and they did not do it for us. And therefore, it is up to them now, all these big countries who are now, by the way, broke. They are broke, they are desperate. And that France particularly, that Nigeria doesn't want to even invite the ambassador to show dismay. Did what it did in Libya, and again the fingers are also pointed at the killing of President Deby of Chad, who, by the way, very recently came to Nigeria and said, now that we have different set of field commanders, we will be able to do a better job. And that was very expensive. And earlier in the day, he also talked about common currency because CFA was not helping. These are things that always created coups and assassination in ex-French colonies. And it happened again in 1974 with Hamani Diori of Niger. 1 year later, in 1975, it happened to Ngarta Tombalba of Chad, when he said, wait, let us divide something so that our own country too can benefit. So it is about ECO, that common currency, and about trading within Africa. This is the basic thing. Until Nigeria sits up and then bring together, bring back our reserve. Those who are retired and still not tired should come on board. We can also train people and then look at other places. What are the embassies doing there? That people are being recruited to be sent to Nigeria in order to put Nigeria on defensive, because Nigeria is the leader of Africa. So as long as Nigeria is on the offensive, there's no way those countries will not join Nigeria as a big market. Yes, my dear.
Yeah, we need to take a breather. But there has been link between what we are saying in the northwest region of the country, in Kaduna and the rest, the kidnapping and abduction. And the government has come out to say there is a link between that and what we're saying in the northeast region. Just today, the governor you heard before the program in Niger State saying that in Niger State, which is in the north central region of the country, where he's saying that Boko Haram is taking villages there. We want to know what the problem really is and how we can solve them. But we take a breather, and when we come back, resolving our insecurity challenges with Professor Khalifa Dikwa continues after now. Join us again, everyone. Professor Khalifa Dikwa, the Dean Borno Elders, is with us on the program. So a public affairs commentator is in our Maiduguri studio. Thank you so much, Professor Dikwa, for your time tonight. What bothers the minds of a lot of Nigerians tonight, one thing is the issue in Kaduna State where those students from the private university that were abducted, making 5 of them now that are being killed by the abductors. And when we wonder, Kaduna State, with the kind of military presence that we have there, now the governor of Niger State says Boko Haram is taking over some villages in his state, and that's the north central region of the country. Now we're seeing a resurgence of Boko Haram and the activities in the northeast region. You've given us these perspectives of an external influence in the problem. So if there is a link with what we saw in the northwest and in the northeast, in terms of this insurgency and this insecurity situation, how then do we explain what is happening in the southeast region where military formations and security formations are being attacked? In Rivers State, military formation was also, a checkpoint was also attacked. Where lies the problem, Professor, in what has become a major national insecurity challenge?
Yes, Shehu, I said a very long time, since the 90s, that it was going to be a national issue. But at the beginning, when it festered only around Borno State, people thought it was just a Kanuri issue. Then, thank God, the people of Kaduna welcomed me and gave me the media to sell the story that it was something that had been waiting in the cooler for long. And the humiliation of our military at that time, let me say that our military, our armed forces today, and our police and our secret service are capable to do it at any time. Then it is up to the leadership. For instance, Mr. President should be able to say, we have released all these monies without even making noise, go to court and so on. This is a waste of time. If the money meant for so-so weapons and so on, bring them back. Get the weapons anywhere in the world. Don't go and place our money so that we wait for so many years and people are dying. And the media is also complicit. When anything going to the eastern bloc of the world, the media is talking, but they keep quiet if it is in America or Europe, as if we are slaves, we are still under the purview of European Union or European countries. To filibuster all these things, let me say straight that Mr. President should be able to ask what is happening to our satellite today. Can our satellite give aerial imagery to our military? Our Air Force, are they using our own without intervention? If we do not have one, then we can go to any country and borrow a space in the satellite. That is number one. Technology is number one, because the deficiency in staffing, the number of our military, police being overwhelmed and so on. No, they can still do it if the technology is there. Why is it that there are people within the system who are sabotaging the technology? Technology is like something for our military. We should have them, things like that have a tendency of night visuals, helicopters that can see at night and so on. They are not being given. They are sabotaging our army, our military, our police, our DSS, and so on. It is those in government or close the government, because of the fault of a few people in the army, in those, the military and DSS, we are always quick to condemn the entire body. And those military and our own secret service and defense service have always performed in other places where technology was working, where everybody had the biodata. The biodata is that Nigerians are being used today within the country and outside the country to drag the image of the country down, and that every Nigerian must have the data for planning and for any opportunity, so that nobody will buy different SIMs, adopt criminality and throw away the SIM. And therefore, if the communication ministry and digital economy has not finished, they should be given enough security, much more than before. All of them, the ministry and the NIDA herself, to finish the job, so that when they put Shehu or Khalifa Everything about Khalifa is there. And therefore, I said Kaduna is my second home. And I was worried when each time there was something happening, the governor of Kaduna will say something that will torment, will just infuriate people of Kaduna, to push them, to annoy them, as if he had no feelings, human feelings at that time. And I said, consistently, every 2 weeks, saying one thing, and that is annoying the people, upsetting the people serially. And I suggested that unless there is something that is not adjustable, I dare say that the government of Kaduna was endangering Abuja due to its proximity. And therefore, taking over today, attacking Kaduna, Niger State as the widest state, next is Borno, right? And therefore, it is something that we can do with the technology, and then adopt what I call diplomacy. We must write United Nations. We have evidence, hard evidence. Our military have had rock solid evidence of international forces, international interests, foreign interests. Now they are broke, and they think that Nigeria is now trying to free the African countries.
All right.
Now from Libya around, go to Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, and up to Sudan and so on. And you see a particular military government that toppled a civilian in Egypt is being accused of always being harassed to topple democracies in order to plant.
So because of our time, Professor, we need to close now. But in closing, if you may, just in 30 seconds, Professor Dikwa, the rains are coming, and experts are saying this has its effect. The effect on the situation in the Lake Chad region is also there after the death of President Derby. And people are afraid that all of these will have its effect. For the people, what should we be doing? Just in 30 seconds, Professor.
Yes. Lake Chad is for 40 million people across the borders. And you know that the ancient Kanem Borno that comprises Chad, part of Niger and Cameroon and so on. It is Lake Chad. And you should be able to find the truth about now the drying up of Lake Chad itself. Was it because of unnecessary dams along River Shari and Ubangi? Or is it something that has to do with the economy? If it is the colonial powers that are still doing it, I think we can do something out there, put a lot of PR there. And those who are in government, who are in lazy opposition, thinking that pulling down this government will help them, I'm sorry for them. It is not going to help them, because they will also go after them. At times of this kind of situation, all of us should forget about partisanship and come together with the leadership to worry them in order to do one thing at a time.
Professor,
so this is my take, that the solutions are there. If they want me to also do it, they can always talk to me. We can adopt even the Algerian way of dealing with the situation.
Professor Khalifa Dikwa, it's always a pleasure hearing you speak about some of these issues and the way forward. And I hope that some of the solutions that you have put forward tonight will help in resolving the killings that we are seeing in our country today. But that's our show for today, everyone. Many thanks for watching. I'm Sean Kimale. Bye for now.